Hey, the new YouTube, the new live stream. Got to get through all the hoops, jump up and down. It's David G. It's my new channel, and just here to talk about Jesus. What else is there to talk about? What's more important to talk about than Jesus the Christ? Um, got myself in a garden. That's the goal. Getting back to the garden. Um, who doesn't want to live in the garden of God, with God in heaven, creating universes, spinning off planets, creating animals, create angels, creating all the things that he creates. What does it look like to you? What does heaven look like to you? I know I spend a lot of time thinking about it, and it's a lot better than some of the alternatives. I love how Paul in Colossians, he wrote to us, um, not to uh, you know think about the things of this world, but put our minds on heaven. So this is just getting used to this format here, and people are punching in. Um, but that's kind of my thoughts today. This heaven. What does it look like? How is it described? How do we get in? Um, how it's related to the tabernacle? How they created the tabernacle, and they had the outer court, and then they had the holy place, and then they had the holy of holies, and it's a cube, and the measurements are right there. It's easy to see. It's a cube, and we go into the book of Revelation, and we see the new heaven and the new earth. And we see the holy city of God, New Jerusalem, coming out from God, and it's a cube, and it's 1,400 miles by 1,400 miles by 1,400 miles, or it's 1,500 miles, depending on which translation you get. And a picture of the Holy of Holies. Are we missing something here? In Hebrews 9, it says that this place is not part of this created world. It's from there that He created this, and so just out there thinking about what's it going to be like, trying to get revelation from the Lord, to share with us, so that we can be excited, to be looking forward to something great, something out there that we'd want to go to, that we would want to be in. And I like that. It just makes me feel secure. This holy city, walls 216 feet thick. I see possibly 12 floors. I see the 12 foundations. I see that as 12 foundation floors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and each floor is 120 miles high. Our own Earth's atmosphere isn't even 8 miles high, 60 miles high maybe, to get into the outer stratosphere. It's big, and this idea that it is so huge. And so just musing about that today in my garden, meditating on the Word, thinking about what is, and where the world, how it's going off in the direction that it's going, and we're not surprised. And so, focusing on Jesus, focusing on the promises that He has given us, is it's my walk as a Christian man, and trying to live at peace with all people. I'm a small businessman, just living in peace in my community. People know who I am, what I stand for, and of course, there's not an agreement there with a lot of people, but there's a lot of love there, and that becomes the 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 way that we live in this world, not of this world, but we live in this world. And I've done that part where I go and just confront people and tell them, you're going to hell. uh, and there probably is a place for that when someone's really in a bad way, and but in everyday life, um, you know make sure, I like to make sure that I'm letting people know who I am, what I believe is real, what I believe is important. And I will preach the gospel on street corners. I will share in the schools. I will sing loud at church. I will proclaim my faith as we're directed, as we're inspired to do so, inspired by Jesus, inspired by his apostles. And so um, this just is something that I'm trying to bring to this screen, and it's going to be a work in progress. I can see that now. And so I'm already looking at the timestamp on here, and I don't believe that it's been 5 minutes already. And so this is I'm looking at all of these pieces. So forgive me for that. Um, this heaven that we're talking about, this garden, paradise defined, only used two times in the word. Paul uses it, and Jesus uses it. Paul talks about when he was caught up into paradise. Jesus uses it when he's on the cross, speaking to the guy, one of the criminals, and just today you will be with me in paradise. And definition there is just a walled garden, and this picture for us, the tree of life there, the river of life, the throne of God, and we're able to come in because we've been washed by the blood of Christ. Whereas in the tabernacle of Moses, only the high priest could go in only once a year, and it had to be redone every single year, had to be redone. None of us were allowed in, especially as Gentiles, but none of the Israelites were let in. It's just this picture of you don't get to come in here until you're cleaned up, until you're forgiven, until there's a relationship, there's a new covenant. And this new covenant that we have is so great, is so incredible, because the architecture of his kingdom, as to who we are and what he's made and how we fit into his kingdom, is it's just too good to imagine. And that becomes a problem. So many, the devil, of course, says you're just out of your league. What are you thinking? That'll never happen. You're this egocentric man thinking of how great you are, and man's a cancer on this planet, and we need to be in love with all of God's creatures, and we are. But the Lord, he tells us, where we are, what our place is here. And our place is a high place. And, God gave Adam charge over this planet, or charge over the animals. And of course, it was taken away. Jesus got it back. And so look at the Bible through those lenses, through that reality that it talks about. And, we just walk in such great power. We walk in such great position, from him, grace, love. And so just a thought today, just kind of putting it out there. And what does heaven look like, biblically? Why does he put it there for us? He gives us something to shoot for. I know there's just so much more there. It's not a place for physical beings. It's a place for spiritual beings. But Jesus' spiritual body, he ate food, they could touch him. So there's much more to the Bible stories, and there's much more to our understanding of what's there than just right at the surface. And I think that's why he wants us to meditate on this. Just be in fellowship with him. Pretend we're walking with him in the garden, and get our mind thinking about this. Think about this. We're leaving this earth. This earth is going to be destroyed. Take care of this earth. Absolutely. Take care of our country. Absolutely. Vote and participate locally, and, think globally and act locally. It's so important for us to be a part of this community, part of God's community, and get our minds out of the gutter and get our minds back up where we're looking forward, where we're seeing heaven, where we're walking with Christ, where we're sharing his presence, doing the work he has for us. with great joy and acting and in a way that reveals his character and sharing what we know about the Word with people around us and um, and on the internet, as you will. And so that's sort of the thoughts I had about God's heaven, and I've been, just really consumed with this idea of this giant cube that He shows us. He could have shown us lots of things, but He really goes to a lot of trouble to show us this cube in the tabernacle. The Ark of the Covenant inside this place. We're told the Ark is up in heaven as well. There's an Ark of the Covenant up in heaven, and it's like that's what He uses. That's his props that He's using to help us understand, where He is, who He is, and how we fit into this whole thing. So. God bless you guys. I think that's it for today. I'm going to just see how to get out of this thing now, and we'll go from there.